Another spatial defect example is the Gold Room. We are never given a clear indication of how the Gold Room connects up to the rest of the hotel. It is flanked by a hallway that doesn't seem to spatially link up properly with the one in the hotel lobby. And other sets that are featured without any apparent sense of orientation to the rest of the hotel are the games room, the basement boiler room, the River of Blood hallway, and the hallway where Danny encounters the twin girls. If we think of the Overlook in terms of major set pieces, such as kitchens, Gold Room, Colorado Lounge and so on, it would be logical to assume that Kubrick and his set designers would at least have come up with a rudimentary map of how these locations would relate to each other. Yet Kubrick plays even more spatial mind games. Here's a glaring contradiction. Wendy is shown preparing meals in the kitchen, and she also wheels Jack's breakfast through to the lobby from the Gold Room area. On that basis, we can assume that the kitchen is close to or just beyond the Gold Room. But later, as Jack limps through the hotel to kill Halloran, he first passes through the kitchen, and then he enters the lobby from the opposite side of the Gold Room. The kitchen can't be on both sides of the lobby. On the larger scale, we see an exterior view of the Overlook Hotel, which appears too small to contain the gigantic Gold Room. Once again, the Overlook blueprints in the Kubrick archives confirm the whole structure was too small, and if the Gold Room is in there, then there should be a large section of the hotel that has no apparent windows, but it's not the case. Another prominent spatial contradiction of the hotel exterior is its angles. The exterior shows large sections of the hotel built at odd angles to each other, yet all of the interior sets feature rooms and halls that use perfect right angles, like a maze. These kinds of blatant mistakes simply aren't Kubrick's style. Reports from cast and crew throughout his career reveal his involvement and obsession with details in every aspect of production. In building the sets for The Shining, the crew used detailed blueprints approved by Kubrick. These blatant design anomalies would not have occurred by accident. Set designers would have noticed them and brought them to Stanley's attention at the blueprint stage. The only way they could occur is if Stanley wanted them there. So having established that the sets of The Shining were designed with deliberate spatial defects, you're probably asking yourself, yeah, so what's the point? The point is that the Overlook Hotel is not just a place of isolation. It's a symbolic maze, a vast disorientating labyrinth of corridors and impossible windows and doorways. The big giveaway is that the map we see outside the maze entrance and the tabletop version that Jack looks at are identical. That is, until we cut to the top-down view. At this point, the maze paths have altered and are symmetrically mirrored both vertically and horizontally. Its layout is also much larger, with no exterior edges to be seen. Danny and Wendy are symbolically trapped in a never-ending maze of mirrors. It's also possible that this blatant mismatching between the real maze and the tabletop maze contributes to Jack being lost in the maze at the end of the film. The daytime shots of Danny and Wendy walking through the maze together also mismatch the map shown outside its entrance. The easiest way to notice this is to look at the top of the hedge walls immediately after we cut from the maze map outside. The top of the hedge is arched, revealing it to be the maze entrance, at which point the characters took an immediate left turn. According to the exterior map, they should have then walked a very long and straight path, but in the actual footage, the maze has a different layout. Even the small-scale maze map shown in the making-of documentary mismatches the maps seen in the film. The daytime maze footage consists of 2 shots. The second shot matches up with the portion of the maze map that is highlighted in red. But the first shot follows a course that doesn't match up with any part of this map. However, the nighttime shots of Danny and Jack running through the maze in the film's climax do match up with the small-scale map given out on the set. The changing maze layout between the 2 daytime shots could only be achieved in one of 2 ways. Either Kubrick had more than one maze set to film in, or the existing maze layout was altered between shots. Personally, I put my money on the latter. The following production story suggests that Stanley played a practical joke on his crew by having the maze altered during the shoot without handing out updated copies of the map. Kubrick had an exacting overhead view map of the maze, which was used to get in and out and to plan shots. Copies were given to the crew, who nevertheless continued to get lost throughout the production. Garrett Brown, Steadicam inventor and operator, recalled that if you got lost and called out Stanley, Kubrick's laughter seemed to come out from all directions inside the maze. The terror of being isolated in a maze while being eternally chased in never-ending circles is communicated in the tricycle scenes. Danny rides a full lap around the Colorado Lounge and an adjacent hallway until he's back where he started, just as he loops back on himself before encountering the locked door of room 237. In both of these scenes, he is chased by an observing camera of which he has no escape. However, in the final maze chase of the film, Danny again does a full lap upon himself, but this time breaks the loop and makes his way to the maze centre. This looped pathway would also confuse Jack if he attempted to follow the footprints to find his way back out the maze. Scale is also important in The Shining. The imposing size of the hotel, its oversized and unnerving carpet patterns, the mountain ranges, and especially the huge gold room and Colorado Lounge make the characters look small and defenseless, like helpless children. Add this to the solitude of the Torrance's circumstances, and the psychological brew is potent. These intentional and subliminal set design anomalies are one of the key elements that give The Shining its unsettling creepiness. And it does this almost entirely without the cliched cobwebs and dark shadows of other horror films.